Good morning. This is Bill from Europa, Naples, and today I got a couple of ibises over there feeding in the yard next door, but otherwise a nice peaceful morning. No weed whackers, no leaf blowers, no big block Chevys idling, just me in a cool Florida morning. And this 2004 Mercedes-Benz SL500 Roadster. When this car came out, it was 2003. It replaced the R129 chassis car, became the R230, this one. And it was a giant leap forward in terms of the SL Roadster. Of course, the SL harkens back to the 50s, that Le Mans winning gull-wing coupe. An incredible car from Mercedes-Benz, has become a cultural icon, incredibly collectible, and as a result, every SL afterward has achieved collectability. That thing was called SL for being super light. Now it's questionable whether or not that design philosophy is carried through into this one, because it's a pretty heavy, pretty substantial car. But at the end of the day, it is, a very nimble, agile, lovely to drive roadster, and we're going to go ahead and give it the benefit of the doubt. This one, again, in 04, it's finished in, Mercedes-Benz's best Tuxedo Black. It's got ash leather interior, beautiful 5-star alloys. It's got fresh Contis on there, and just a terrific looking car. It is, of course, a folding hardtop convertible. You can see those front lights sort of melting into each other. Very high power discharge xenons. It's got nice fogs down low. It's got these things that are a little bit controversial. The little winglets and the vents on the fenders and on the hood. But that does, again, harken back to that 50s SL, which had very similar features. You can see those big dinner plate brakes up front with multi-piston calipers. That's part of a very advanced braking system on this car. To give you, for instance, when you take your foot off the gas, it sort of presumes that you're about to be braking, and before your foot can even make it to the brakes, it sort of energizes the pistons to put the pads right up against the rotor so it's ready to go, and that'll limit your braking time once you hit it. You see down here, it's got big twice pipes, the very muted star at the back of the trunk, the SL500 badging, and otherwise just a fantastic looking car. Mercedes does so well with these things. Let's have a look in the trunk. So you can see we have the power hardtop folded down. A really thoughtful thing here. If you want quick access to your cargo, you push that guy, the top comes up a little bit. You can then move this partition forward and boom, whatever you need to get in there, you can get in there. Now don't ever put anything on top of that because it's going to crunch when the hardtop comes down. You can see the original mats are in great shape on this low mileage car. Everything neat and tidy back in the trunk, and as it should be. What a beautiful mechanism that top is as well. It has a suck down rear trunk, not unlike the suck down on an 84 Cadillac. Kind of nice. All right, up front we have a very interesting 5-liter engine. Of course, it's V8 powered, 302 horsepower, which may not sound like a lot in today's world, but it was incredibly ample in 03 and still remains ample today. I mean, this thing, really gives you almost the best of what Detroit might have come out with in 1969 in terms of engines. Free revving, torquey. We got airplanes circling overhead. Wonderful. Beautiful all the way through the rev band. Nice growl from the tailpipes. Despite all of its technological advances, it really does have the heart of a muscle car. You can see everything nice and tidy under there. You see it's got the Mercedes starter battery. That's always a good sign to me when you see a Mercedes battery in the car. That means they were getting the car serviced at the dealer. People who do that and pay twice what they need to for a battery are probably changing their oil. So everything nice and tidy up here. You see the factory windscreen in place, very nice, as it should be. And we'll have a look inside. Okay, you can see this has that beautiful contrasting ash leather, kind of a charcoal, black and charcoal separated by wood here. Really contrasts very nicely with that black paint. You've got a little cargo area back here. If I press that little arrow, the seat comes forward in a very nice way and gives you access to the back. Now, if you've got some sort of cargo that you want to put here, you can, that actually an assault weapon would fit very nicely across that tray. You get this guy here, you can go down, buckle it into place at that little receptacle, and it'll keep everything from rolling around. So, pretty crafty stuff. There's your CD changer. And over on that side, just a nice little place to stuff your spare ammo clips. All right, press that and back goes the seat. Now, on the door panel here, you can see it's got these, 5th or 8th generation airbags. They're adaptive, very, very safe. You got a great little map pocket here. Again, more place for your weapons and ammo. Power windows, your 52-way power seats with memory, your heated seat controls. You got a Bose speaker down there, and everything just lovely. All right, now you're ensconced in these terrific supportive seats. Let's grab our keys. We'll fire this thing up. I'm not going to go yet because I'm going to show you the roof and talk about another couple things. All right, so it fires to life with just this lovely growl. Very, very nice sound. And here we are. So you can see we've got sort of an interesting instrument cluster here. It's kind of, frankly, a little bit bizarre to me. I'm not sure I love all the swoops and angles, but, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Either way, it gives you the information that you need to have very quickly. So you've got your water temp, your fuel, your tack. It very quickly can switch over to kilometers for miles per hour. Uses something actually similar to what the Corvette had. Without going through a hassle, you can change the gauge cluster. So you've got automatic headlamps with washers, nice multifunction steering wheel here. Not a super sporty wheel, but nice and fat, lovely to grip. Over here you've got some vents, you've got your clock, you got Mercedes-Benz sort of baffling in-dash infotainment command unit here. Programming that nav, you'd have to be Stephen Hawking to do it quickly. Probably better off just using your phone, but there it is if you want it. It does have some cup holders. Nice, they're working well. Put your Perrier bottles in there. Of course, AM, FM, CD, in 04. You could get a Motorola phone in this thing, but it's not Bluetooth, so probably useless to you now. Very nice proper leather shifter. You got your dual side climate control, lovely little circular gauge package. If I go back there, you get a better view of it. You got your 12-volt outlet here. I don't think that was ever an ashtray because it's got a little light here. It doesn't look like that could accept ashes. You got a comfort and sport setting on the transmission. It does shift manumatically, so if you bang it this way or bang it that way, you can see we're going through the 5-speed gearbox. So the nice thing about this car is if you're tracking it in a way that other sports cars may not, you can really hold a gear. So let's say you're hammering it through the corner, you're in manual mode, you're in 3rd gear, you got to let off the throttle a little bit to make the turn because you got in too deep. You let your foot off the throttle on many cars, even in manumatic mode, it might upshift at a very inappropriate time. In this car, it's going to stay in the same gear. Now this little thing controls the hydraulic suspension. So I click it once, it's going to raise me a little bit. I'll see if I can use the mirror against the bushes there so you can see it. So I've pressed it and we've lifted up maybe an inch, maybe a little less. Twice we're going to be in Bigfoot mode. So let me just step outside of the car and you can see how much air there is in the wheel wells. Need a step ladder to get down now. So all of a sudden we don't look so sporty anymore. The thing's lifted way high. One of the reasons for that is to give you some ground clearance there at the front if you're going over some ridiculous speed bumps or you don't like the way your wife pulls up to parking blocks. She rips the front bumper off the thing. You can lift it up in the air and make it a little bit more amenable to parking. Of course, with the 2 lights off, you're in normal mode and the car sits back down in its sporty stance. ESP, that's electronic stability program. That's Mercedes-Benz very advanced traction control. ABC Sport, when it came out, was probably the most advanced road car suspension in the world. And what that did was do away with the need for any kind of traditional coilovers or sway bars. It just dampened each individual shock through a 2000 PSI plus hydraulic system in a way that would completely eliminate body roll. if that's what you wanted, and it would give you total stability when you needed it and a nice soft ride when you didn't. So really cool suspension on this car, nicely integrated with the side view mirrors in the middle. Underneath this flapper that runs the top, looks like something from the Batmobile, is the roll bar, which can be raised or lowered manually. Looks a little strange when the windscreen's on it, but if you want to put that up for style reasons, you can. Otherwise, in the event of calamity, that thing's going to come up on its own like an airbag. Over here in your dash, you got a set of books, very nice, just fits in there. It's got a vent control, so if you want to vent cold air, you got some, tuna salad sandwiches in the glove box, you'll be able to keep them cool. You also get these great little compartments at the front of the seat, maybe more ammo clips or, a switchblade, whatever you need to put in there. Keep it a secret. So anyway, everything lovely all around. What I'm going to do is run the hardtop now. We're with it down, so I push on this guy. You can see the trunk comes up from the back. Up comes the folding hardtop, and it works fast, and it is a showstopper. When that thing, forgive me, when that thing goes, I mean, it works in like under 15 seconds. You can use it at a stoplight, and it is like from the Bolshoi Ballet to watch. Just the most beautiful mechanism. Absolutely lovely. And when that thing is firmly up and in place, it really turns this thing into a fixed roof coupe. Virtually no wind noise, no body flex. You really do get all the best of a folding hardtop convertible. So with that said, let's go for a spin. I'm going to leave it up because of the wind noise. I get these crackling things on the iPhone otherwise. But I tell you, it'd be nice to go to work with it down. Let's see what we got on the radio. Yeah, NPR today. You can do direct access tuning on this thing by pressing that. Get ourselves some classic rock or commercials. Oh, very nice. We got Queen this morning. Okay, let's see. I like these controls for the AC unit. When you press them, like the auto, unpress that so we get not such a loud auto. This little center thing comes up, and I feel like this is the launch missile mode. It reminds me of something from Star Trek, like the, self-destruct mechanism. Very, very cool having these little cylinders pop forward, but otherwise push them forward, everything in auto. If I do that in the middle, it'll turn the fan to automatic based on the thermostat and give you the right airflow. I'm down all the way at 60, so if I hit it now, we're going to be in a windstorm. Let's go for a spin. The one thing I can say about this SL is driving it, I have never felt such a substantial two-seat roadster around me. I've never felt so firmly connected to the pavement. They've just done that in droves in this car. It feels heavy, but in the most nimble and agile way. So, you don't in any way get a sluggish feeling from the car, but you're in something substantial, something beautifully connected to the road, and it gives you a real fantastic driving experience. You hear that nice growl from the V8. Man, is that a nice engine under the hood of this thing. So we're going to go and get into sport mode for a minute. I'll turn off the traction control. That's going to light up that triangle. And listen to that. I mean, that is such a beautifully tuned, lovely feeling of, tremendous torque and power through the rev band. Got our traction control back on. Now we're in full safe mode. But with that off, with the ABC off, you can really kick the tail out in this thing. You can drive it like a real nitwit around parking lots and do donuts. And, there's something to be said for that too. Either way, this thing is so technologically advanced. Even for 03 or 04, this car has more advancements than most new cars do today. It's still very much state-of-the-art in terms of the general world of all things automotive. So, and it's just a beautiful driving, experience. When you show up somewhere, even again, all these years later, the car's no spring chicken, despite the low mileage and condition. You still look like you arrived. You still look like somebody, It has all the sort of visual implications of the S-Class in a two-seat Roadster form. So really just a fantastic all-around driving experience, and probably one of the best Grand Touring cars ever built. So if you have an interest in this thing, give us a call, 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. Thank you so much for having a look. We appreciate it. Again, this is an 04 SL500 Roadster, black on graphite, 33,000 miles. Just a real charmer. We appreciate you having a look, and we'll see you with the next one. Take care.